What's going on, everybody? Sorry about the cough. I'm having some sinus issues this week since it was 60 degrees last weekend, and it's been 30 degrees the last couple of days with some snow and whatnot, so just bear with me here. As you can see here from the beginning of the video, I got a shipment in from reefcleaners.org. I really needed some cleanup crew to add to the tank, and read a lot of great things about Reef Cleaners, so decided to pull the trigger, and could not say that it's been a top-notch transaction. I didn't expect anything other than a top-notch transaction, but almost immediately I placed the order on it was a Monday, which was a holiday, and I got an email back from John at Reef Cleaners that evening, just confirming that he got the email or got the order, and when my order would ship out, and sort of when to expect it. So, you know, communication. I've said this multiple times whenever I place an order, but if the communication's top notch, you always have me as a customer. The website's really easy to use. I kind of went through it with you as far as what they have to offer. I didn't show you everything on there, but I showed you the section that I used whenever I placed the order. And as the website states, there'll be some water in there and a wet paper towel, and you could expect the snails to go dormant for 3 to 5 days, which means that you put them in the tank and you get no activity out of them for 3 to 5 days. No drip acclimation. You just simply take the bag and float the bag for 15 minutes to let them acclimate to the temperature of your tank. After that, you introduce them to the tank, and everything will be good to go. I also picked up some reef pods. Read a lot of good things about them, so I just picked up one container. I want to try them out and see what happens. I don't have anything that will necessarily demands this type of food, but I just dumped the bag in there, and actually I cut the bag open, and it had a little piece of microalgae, I think, in the bag or whatever. I just opened it up and put it in the tank as well, which you're supposed to put it in the tank with the lights out, but since I'm putting it in the sump in the refugium area, and there's nothing in there to eat the pods, I didn't see an issue with doing this with the lights on. So after I let them float here, I'm struggling to take the snails, get them out of the bag with one hand, so I'm going to set my phone up on the table, and it's probably going to be a pretty horrible view as I struggle with the double bagging. Shipment was fast. They shipped out on Wednesday, and they arrived to my doorstep on Friday afternoon. They came from Florida. I'm in Kentucky, so shipment was top notch. No delays. Didn't expect any. The weather was nice, so I picked a perfect time to order from Reef Cleaners. Basically, I picked up 8 Florida. I'll probably butcher these names or whatever, but 8 Florida Cerith snails. They're 60 cents a piece, so it was $4.80. 4 Nassarius Vibex snails. Excuse the names here. They were 45 cents a piece, $1.80 total. 12 Nerite snails, 75 cents a piece, $9, and 1 pack of reef pods, $13. And with these items, they did not require next day shipping, so the shipping to my door was $9.50. So we had a total of $38.10. There are items on their website, and if it has an asterisk next to it, those do require the next day shipment. But they have a ton of items on their website that you can save half on shipping that don't require next day shipping. So what I decided to do here is just drop them in different locations throughout the tank. And most of the snails, most of them within a couple of hours started moving around. And on the website it states that if you have a tank that's rimless, I don't remember the exact specifics to it, but it said that if you have a rim tank, it's better because for whatever reason, these snails, as soon as you introduce them to the aquarium and they wake up from their little hibernation state, they go straight to the top. And I did have that on multiple occasions where they climbed to the top of the aquarium, but they can't go anywhere because I have a rim on there. And, I did put a couple of them in the sump, and the sump does not have a rim on it, and I've had no issues with any of the snails trying to climb out of the sump. So excuse the dirty glass here, but you can see shortly after, and excuse the presidential jargon going on the TV and the glare there. I'm trying to minimize the glare, but pay attention to the snail there. But they quickly went to work. Diatoms is what I'm basically fighting with these snails, and I'm really happy with the order. The communication was excellent, like I said, and on top of that, um, I got an email whenever they were shipped that had the tracking information. So I highly recommend that if you are looking for a cleanup crew for your aquarium, you look them up. The prices to me are good, actually great. There's a lot of websites that you can shop from. You'll read mixed reviews about different websites. I don't really want to name them here, whatever. I try to form my own opinion on websites, and you can take my opinion for what it's worth from a stranger on the internet. But I tend to do quite a bit of research before I place any orders online. And typically, if the business has a large majority of positive reviews on the different outlets that I look at, I'll pull the trigger and I'll try them out. You know, it's one thing to read reviews, but it's another thing to have your own experience with them. So I'll definitely be ordering from them again whenever I need more snails and the reef pods, because the shipping is bar none. It's a good price. So overall, the snails are doing exactly what they need to be doing. Um, the diatoms and the various different algae that are in the tank are getting taken care of. So here I turn the arsenic lights off on the Kessel and just have the white lights, which makes the tank look way different, and it doesn't make it look as pretty. Um, but the snails are doing exactly what they need to do, and every once in a while they'll still climb to the top of the tank, and I'll just pluck them off there and I'll drop them into a place where I feel like they'd be more beneficial. Um, and they really like climbing up on the overflow box for whatever reason. You know, I don't know what that's all about, but I need to get a lid on that thing to keep them out of there. I do have a strainer on my primary drain, and the emergency drain is open. Excuse me, but I did order some plastic, and in an upcoming video, I'm going to make a lid for the overflow box. I just haven't quite figured out how I'm going to approach that. Excuse me, yet. This sinus stuff is really driving me insane. But I may have gotten too many snails for my system. At some point, they're going to. See, I'm showing you a sneak peek of what else is in the tank now. But at some point, they're going to catch up on all of the algae and diatoms and whatnot in the tank. And we'll just have to figure out our next move after that. I did increase the pumps on the tank to get more flow inside the tank. But here's a close up. You can see this snail, and it's just going to work on the glass. And this is what I wanted. I didn't really care too much about the algae on the rocks per se. I wanted the snails to keep the glass clean. You can't really train them on what you want them to do, so you just kind of hope that they're going to do the right thing whenever you put them in the tank. And so far, so good. They're finding anything and everything that they can get, and they're going to wipe it out for me. Um, I'll post a link to Reef Cleaners below in the description. Um, and I mean, once again, I highly recommend checking them out. I don't think you'll ever have any issues with placing an order with them. I highly recommend them. These guys are pretty cool. They typically burrow in the sand, and then that little antenna-like device will come up whenever they smell food. Somehow he found his way up on the rocks, and that's fine by me as long as he stays inside the water of the tank. I got no problems with that. Um, the few snails that I put inside the sump are doing really good. I got them in the refugium section. The Cheeto, however you want to pronounce it, in the refugium section is doing really good. So I got the snails in there doing work, and then the algae that I want inside the refugiums in there doing its job. Um, I'm trying to get a close up here. I'm recording this on iPhone 6, so I'm trying to get a close up there. But with the glare and the white lights, it's kind of hard to see. But for sure, check them out. Hope you like this video. Subscribe if you like my content. I try to produce new content every week.